Welcome viewers to the review on the Kia EV9 GT-Line for Exhaust Notes Australia. Welcome back to 2024, and this car is very impressive. So without any more stalling, let's do a wrap around and see what the space is like in this bad boy.
Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call art.
Just wanted to do a walk around, guys, and really compliment the design cues here and this awesome optional color here. So $3,900 and I think it was $45 for this color option. It does come with a special paint protection kit, being a matte color. But aside from that lovely color offsetting this lovely gloss black, I just wanted to point out the design cues and why I think this is a bit of a standout. A lot of the EVs these days are really rounded off, and this takes a different approach. It's very squared and it's very, I feel, aggressive looking. And from what I've found this week driving it, I found a lot of guys approaching me and asking me what this car is, and I found the girls not so much too impressed with the sharpness of it. So I think it does appeal more to a male audience, but I don't hate that. I think that a lot of us guys just don't find the standardized EV design all that interesting. It has its purpose, but is it interesting? Does it stand out to you? And I feel like this car does a great job of breaking through that barrier and just being a little bit different, a little bit out there without being over the top. So what I do like, the daytime running light, which kind of looks like a lightning bolt from the side. Well done. A lot of tiny little lights in here for your headlights and for your indicators. I do like that you do have the brake duct vents at the front there. I like the 21-inch wheels here, gloss black, looking nice and sharp, and that carries through, and the squared design just really pops in this color and just looks really unreal. So tell me what you think in the comments, guys, because for me, if I saw this coming down the road in gloss black or grey, I got to tell you, I'd think it was the Secret Service coming to get me, because it can fit a squad in it with guns probably, and it just looks menacing. It really does. Great job, Kia. Great job. Alrighty, guys, let's check out the boot space. First of all, when opening with the key fob, hold the button. Do not press it. If you press it, it'll go back the other way. Bit of a pain, but that's fine. Alrighty, so we have 333 litres of boot space in here, 2,318 litres with both rows down. Plenty. I honestly think you could definitely fit two of those inflatable mattresses that you take camping in here. The two single guys next to each other would fit, I reckon. Now, great feature here is when you have the charging cable, it's on a Velcro bag, which means it doesn't roll around in the boot. Love that idea. Good job, Kia. In the bottom here, we do have a parcel shelf roller that you can clip in at the top here if you want it, and your spare wheel gear, tow gear as well, and there's some netting down there as well in this model. All right, so we have household power point on the right. On the left, we have a 12-volt socket, and we also have another button in there to close the boot if you want to close it from the inside, I'm assuming, if you're camping. In the middle row of the Kia EV9 GT-Line, we have the continued nice leather with sort of like a dark greyish black, and the white at the top, continued in the middle. We have some extra cup holders and an armrest, USB ports on the seats, an endless cubby hole down the bottom, probably for an umbrella or something, extra cup holders, little storage compartment on the back of the seats. All your air conditioner settings are up here in the center with the vents as well. A moonroof, which is controlled by the driver. Little lights, awesome little shades when the little ones want to go to sleep. and heated and cooled seats. But most importantly, a crazy amount of room, guys. Like, honestly, you can lean right out and even lean the back. Really crazy amount of room in here, guys. I can't actually believe how much we have when we have 3 rows. Really good, guys. I am thoroughly impressed with not only the quality of these seats, but just the amount of space and how they've used it. Unreal. How's that for a quick release? Not bad at all. Now, guys, in the back here, first thing I want to mention, these seats do have sliders, so they can slide forward and back. I've set it just enough room for my knees. It's kept plenty of room in the front, as you guys saw. You have top tether points in the back here for child seats, so you can fit 2 child seats here and 2 in the middle row as well. While you're in this row, you've got the same lovely leather trim, and you've got 2 cup holders on the right, 1 on the left, a USB port either side. You've got your air conditioner vents in the middle here and some lighting. And honestly, guys, it is probably the most spacious 3rd row I've been in to date in terms of in an SUV and not a van-like car in any particular way. So they've done an amazing job. It's honestly, it is rather well finished and easy to access. Plenty of room in here for kids. Yeah, I think it's rather good. Oh, and one other top tip. The air conditioner vents automatically deactivate when the car senses there's no one in each row, so that you're not wasting energy on the air conditioning. Top idea. Awesome. Now that we've checked that out, let's check out some of the tech that's on board this impressive car. I wanted to quickly show you this, viewers, which is the full recline functionality here. So this button here, when you're charging or you're having your brake on the side of the road, you can actually press it and it'll fully recline the seat out like so. You can still make it go further back if you wish to fully have a sleep, but this is just for comfort positionality. For a comfortable position, let's go with that. With this as well, the driver's seat does have massage functionality, not just in the back area, but also in the lower leg area as well. So really handy, guys, and it works really well. So I just thought I'd show you that, and when you're done, you can see the steering wheel also moves out of the way. Then you can reset it back into its normal position. And you've got your lumbar, the top half, bottom half, and your front leg rest if you need it. Very nice, guys. Very well optioned seats for sure. Oh, also, the pedals do have plus and minus on them for go stop. Nice little feature there. Thought I'd let you know. Alrighty, viewers, let's check out the interior. So as you can see there is a head-up display, and I can tell you that with the autonomous driving availability on the cruise control in this, it does show you in that head-up display the other cars in the other lanes as you're driving. Very clear, and it actually has a good depth of color to it. So when you're using your navigation and it brings up an arrow to turn right, it is very clear to your eyes, kind of augmented reality style. It is quite nice, and they've done a great job of that head-up display. Alrighty, let's get into the screen, shall we? Because we don't just have them in front of us, but holy heck, what do we have here? We actually have cameras for side mirrors, which, I gotta be honest, takes a little getting used to. As you can see, they do take up the same amount of room as a normal, let's say, mirrored, what do you call it? Glass side mirror. So, don't know how I feel about it. I would say it works really well on the road while driving. It takes a bit to get comfortable with them when you're reverse parking. And at night, I don't think they're as clear as the old school mirror. That's just from what I've gathered so far using them. I mean, if there's light shining on them, they tend to have a decent picture, but if it's pitch black and there's only the street lights, trying to see anything in there, it's pretty difficult. But to aid that, what they do have is extra mirrors on the side for watching the curb and for checking for cyclists, things like that. And the big advantage of a screen is you can see these lines here, which they put in to help show you the distance of the other cars. That is very handy and a great idea. I'm just going to shut that off now. We've got the aircon on in here, guys, because it is a hot day. Alrighty, so this is my preferred layout. I like seeing what the power is doing and when. You can see there we've got decent amount of charge, decent amount of range. The other screen hidden behind the steering wheel there, which is, let's be honest, a little odd, but I guess you don't really need it, is the air conditioning. And it is touchscreen there, but you also have buttons. Yes, thank you Kia for keeping the buttons. And they're pretty good buttons. I must say all the buttons in here they are plastic, but you can tell they're a sturdy plastic and they do feel like they're built to last. However, when comparing to the competitors in this price bracket, I do find that this dash just doesn't quite look as special, doesn't have quite the amount of exotic materials like you'd see in an Audi or a Mercedes-Benz, let's say. Anyway, back to it. So we have the main infotainment screen, which is pretty handy. This setting is how it arrived, and honestly it's been just fine. So we'll go into the GPS. I haven't needed to use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, even though you can. But you do just plug it in down here, wired, and it does have the option to just charge or charge in Android Auto. You have an extra charge port there, and you have a 12 volt, which, there we go. On top of that, we have this extra storage compartment with 2 cup holders. Now this is a large cup holder in the back, and this is a smaller one in the front. Just keep that in mind, guys, otherwise you will spill a coffee. Down the bottom, you have a nice handbag storage area, which can fit most handbags, beach bags, things like that, which is great. In the middle, wireless charging bay, and a compartment probably for some sunnies, I would say. Cool. You can also control the passenger seat from this side if you need to. As mentioned before, heated and cooled front seats, the extra side mirror camera. And this has got a Meridian 14 speaker sound system, I believe it was. I'll double check that. And it is rather nice, to be honest. It is really good, definitely. You also have extra storage space in that mighty big glove box. And you can see these haptic buttons here just for the infotainment. Although I do like that they're there as buttons, and the reality is you can use it on the steering wheel and so on to get around it if you don't like the haptic buttons. So don't complain about it. We do have a nice scroll, simple scroll here for volume up and down or off, and your air conditioner stuff there. Alrighty, and I really rate these seats. Hey, nice, lightweight, what would you call that, perforated kind of material here, which just is nice and soft and flexible on your head. Then you have the sturdy leather down below. Unreal, guys. Look at that, look. Nice soft cushioning, but it's also, it just feels like it's built to last. I do like that. I like it a lot. Steering wheel. Alrighty, so we've got our detection monitor there. You can see it going crazy, making sure we've got our eyes on the road. You control your KERS through the paddles, which I've always loved about Kias, standard Kia stalks. You do have nice metal feeling. I would say they're metal feeling. I don't know if they're actually metal. Metal feeling dials here, as well as a bunch of the buttons and drive modes. So we've got Sport, Custom, Eco, and Normal. Terrains, snow, mud, sand. With Eco, I found that it's really slow to get off at the lights, so I wasn't a big fan. Normal is perfect, driving normal every day pretty much that I've had it. Sport was fun just to see how fast it is, and let me tell you, it is blisteringly fast. And importantly, we have the drive modes on the stalkie, sorry, the gears on the stalkie. So you start the car and then you twist this little guy here to put it into forward for drive, backwards for neutral, and then reverse. There we go, and press the end of it in to get back to park. Over next to the steering wheel, we have the park brake, which automatically comes on anyway, traction control, and opening the frunk or the boot, and opening the recharge port. Alrighty guys, I just wanted to show you how good the cameras are for parking the GT-Line EV9. So, not only do you have the left screen which shows you your wheel departure angles, and is a top-down view, which is epic. I think every car should have that these days. But Kia went one better. And look at this. They are keeping up with the big boys. We know we've seen this on Audis and stuff before, but well done, Kia. Now there's lots of tolerances built into this, so even if you come right to the edge on this screen here, you do tend to, you're still off the gutter. So they've done a good job of giving you some tolerance there, just so you don't scuff these lovely 21-inch wheels. But I just thought it was deeply impressive. The cameras are really nice and clear. Plus you got the extra cameras for when you're turning and parking on the curb when the indicator's on. They've just done a really good job of covering everything, really. So I just wanted to make that comment and show you guys. And now let's briefly comment on how we thought the driving was. Check it out. Alrighty, the driving of the EV9 GT-Line. The thing that probably stood out most for us here was the combination of a good handling package with a good amount of acceleration here for an EV. So the performance, 0 to 100 in 5.3 seconds, thanks to 2 electric motors, one on the front, one on the rear, which are 100 and I think it was 41 kilowatts either way. Now that would have largely helped the balance of this car and kept it nice and even, and you really feel that in the corners. I think that is aided by the 21-inch wheel configuration and the better tire on the GT-Line. Overall, what that means is you can take it into a corner and it honestly feels great. It feels like a performance car, as it should at its price tag. Now, we found it largely impressive, the range of this car. We had no concerns, not only no concerns with charging, but no concerns with range. This is one of the first EVs we've had where we've never looked at the range and thought, oh gee, that's dropping pretty quickly, because there's plenty there over 500 k's of range, no matter how hard you're driving it. It is honestly was very impressive. Now, overall, you can't forget the comfort levels. This car, the seats are comfy, the massage functions are great, especially that it works on your legs as well as your back. You also have the recliner function like an airliner, and you have little rests at the bottom for the back of your calves. So really supreme level of comfort, guys, on top of all that room. It really highlights how much this car is a great all-rounder, and for me the EV market is best fitted in the all-rounder world. That car that you need to go to work in, that you need to go to the shops in, that you need to cart the kids around in or the family in on your day-to-day duties, that's where the EV thrives. And for me, this car is a great all-rounder. There's enough performance there for you to feel happy. There's enough comfort there for everyone to be happy, and there's enough room there that you're never going to feel cramped. And to top that off, you have the great range on board. So really, again, a great job by Kia here. This is a standout package as it stands, even with that price tag. Now guys, enjoy the rest of this montage. Alrighty guys, the wrap up on the Kia EV9 GT-Line. For me, this car is incredibly impressive. It's in the competition levels of that of Mercedes, Audi and BMW. They're kind of the big hitters in the 7-seater market for full EV options. And for me, it was just over 144,000 on road projected cost for this particular one with the paint job of the ocean matte blue. I think that it is, honestly, it's a lot of car for the money still, even though it is a big price tag. I think that it does outshine its competitors just slightly, mainly on the exterior design style, how it stands out from the crowd, but also just how well they put everything together and thought everything through. I mean, a big tick for me was that fully autonomous driving level that it's got. And when I say fully, sorry, I should word that very carefully. The autonomous driving level that it's got is pretty equal to that of, I think, Tesla's package, but Tesla charge you $10,000 to be able to use that package. Now, I get that they constantly update it, so fair enough, where these guys are still going to be updating it, but maybe not to the same extent. But even so, the fact this has got it as standard on the GT line is a pretty big step up. if I was going to comment on anything, when it's in the competition of Mercedes and Audi, as good as all the buttons are in here and as nice as it is laid out, which it is, I do find that Mercedes and Audi and BMW just use some nicer materials, and it just kind of makes them stand out in terms of the interior, the dash finish, I'll say, because these seats are phenomenal. Nothing wrong with the seats, but just the dash finish, I feel like it could have been done with just some nicer materials, some metals, some maybe real carbon fiber. There's a couple options there. You definitely could have done that just to outshine the competition. But that aside, if that doesn't bother you, I definitely think this one's worth driving if you're in the market for a 7-seater SUV. Now, this is the top spec, the GT line. There are 2 under it, and we're going to bring you the Air soon. But for now, checking out this thing, honestly, impressive. Very impressive. It took me a long time to get used to the camera side mirrors. I will make that comment, but you do get used to them. But definitely test that out for yourself first. And yeah, guys, 7-year warranty, 140, just over 144,000 drive away. Yeah, a lot of car for the money. A lot of car. It's one of the, for me, I feel like this is one of the best all-rounder EVs at the moment. And what I mean by that is, to me, an EV doesn't make a lot of sense as a sports car, doesn't make a lot of sense as a truck, but it does make a lot of sense as the daily commuter and as the family car. I think if you're not going from state to state and you're going to work, to the soccer with the kids, to the shops, all of those everyday things, an EV makes perfect sense. And this one can literally do just about anything. It's got terrain modes, it's got sports modes, it can fit 7 people in here, it can fit 4 child seats, it's got a huge boot. You can, if you wanted to take it camping, you could. If you wanted to drive it fast, you can. It is impressively fast, this thing. 5 seconds 0 to 100 when it weighs 2.6 tons is just, it takes a second for your mind to catch up, in the sense of it can actually do that when it weighs that much. So it's been a lot of fun when you do put your foot down. But then when you back off and you just chill and you put your massage seats on, your cooling seats, it's just such a nice, quiet, conformative place to be. So guys, thank you Kia, thank you Exhaust Notes, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Like and subscribe if you want to see more, and if you're buying one of these, enjoy.